Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing a primarily colorless Millennium Calendar deck that centers around artifacts and the Millennium Calendar, which is a legendary artifact, and it says whenever you untap one or more permanents during your untap step, put that many time counters on the calendar, and then for 2 in a tap, you double the number of time counters on the calendar. And then underneath that it says when there are 1,000 when there are 1,000 or more time counters on the Millennium Calendar, sacrifice it, and each opponent loses 1,000 life. Um, so the deck is basically just centered around artifacts that tap. So things like Goes Vacuum, Iron Crag, Maze Mine Tome, Soul Cauldron, Weathermaker, Core, Hedron Archive. We have 2 copies of Ugin in here because we do run a number of colorless cards. We also have 2 copies of Krang to help us reload the hand because we do play a significant number of artifacts. And so Krang can usually become really cheap and then also be a source of good card draw and be a threat they have to answer on the field. And then 1 copy of Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong, which is 1 tap, scry 2, and then whenever you scry or surveil, look at the top card of your library, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So works well with the Maze Mine Tome, but then also just helping us sift through the deck and play our artifacts for free. To help keep the opponents at bay, we have the Braided Net, 4 copies. And then we also have 4 copies of 3 Steps Ahead, which is actually primarily used to make additional copies of the Braided Net or some of your other artifacts as the situation so calls for. We also have 2 copies of the Enigma Jewel, which is tap, add 2 colorless, and spend this mana only to activate abilities. So a lot of our stuff has activated abilities, like for example the tap on the Millennium Calendar. So this just makes it so we can do it for cheaper. And then we also have 3 copies of Lady Octopus. Whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an Ingenuity counter on Lady Octopus, and then for a tap, you may cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of Ingenuity counters on Lady Octopus without paying its mana cost. So if she sits around on the field, if you get her down on turn 1, you can often cheat out some of your 2, 3, 4 even cost artifacts without paying their mana cost, which is nice. So yeah, that's the deck. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you do, please leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the games. All right, we go first. We do have Lady Octopus. We'll keep. Even though we don't have the calendar in hand necessarily. Go with the starting town and the tome. Heir apparent. So we've got on top island. No, thank you. Let's go archway. Next turn, solemn. Another heir apparent. This is going to be quite problematic. There's a 3 steps though. Let's just go with the solemn. See if they have a buff for everything. Nope. Really? That's not the direction I thought this deck was going to go. Alright, Braided Net is quite good. So let's go like this. We'll get our net out for free. And then we could also cast the Planetarium, but it doesn't leave us mana open, and I think I'd rather draw with the tome, tap down this Channeler, block with the Solemn, and then play the Planetarium next turn. Maybe counter something here if we need to. Another Heir Apparent. Alright. Let's counter and let's create a token. Let's create a token of the braided net. And then let's also tap down you. Okay. Okay, so we'll draw with the tome here. Let's just tap this. No attacking for you, sir. I take our net. Good thing we have another. And no attack. So let's draw. Another net. Alright. Let's tap. Let's get the planetarium out. Let's scry 2. There's a net. We'll play that. And then we'll pass. Let's counter and create a token. That's a copy of, I think, the Solemn. That way we draw 2 cards when they attack us. We don't tap down their channeler here, but that's okay. That's not our win condition. Our win condition, I mean, isn't damaged. They can gain as much life as they want. Another 3 steps, another counter, resolves. There it is. Okay. So let's go calendar. Let's tap. Another net. Activate. A weather maker. Yeah, we'll take that. Comes into play. And then let's pass. They want to go to attacks. So I tap you. I'll pay the 2. Alright, so we'll want to add 1 mana, blue. We'll want to draw here. Counters. Let's tap 1, tap 2, create copy. Tap 1. There's 15. Alright, let's look at the top 8. We'll discard the land. There's Ugin. Play Ugin. Get rid of the Sheltered by Ghosts. Then let's add mana. Activate. Yep, I'll take that. The drive. Let's exile the channeler.
One step in the stratagem.
No attacks. Such nonsense. Alright, they gain life. We need 1,000 counters on the Millennium Calendar, by the way. Oh, I should have tapped everything. Oh well. They pass anyway. Alright, let's tap. Tap. Activate. Tap. Activate. And turn. There's 47. Alright. Let's draw a card. Soul Cauldron, nice. So the vacuum. Exile the apparent. Cauldron. Exile the apparent. Let's craft. And let's craft it with this token. And let's activate. Draw 700 cards. Land. Braided net. Enigma Jewel is quite good. How many cards do we have left? 24. Let's tap. Don't need that. We'll go with Solemn here, though. Exile Bunny. Decline. And then let's vacuum. And we'll discard an Enigma Jewel because it's a legendary. So we don't need it. Alright, we've got a Heir Apparent. Alright. Tap. 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 And then we'll Agatha's Soul Cauldron. +1 can go there. We should remember to leave 2 mana open now so we can double on their turn and then double on our turn as well. Or wait. No, double on their turn and then untap on our turn. That's right. We are running low on cards, so something to keep in mind. This on the flip side says for 4 you tap and draw a card for each artifact you control, so quite a few artifacts at this point. Opponent might have left out of sheer boredom. But what else do we have in the deck? We still have Iron Crag ×2, 3 Maze Mine Tome, 1 Furdok Core, the Braided Net on the top there, Solemn Simulacrum, another Ugin, another Krang, and then 2 more Millennium Calendars. Which we have 1 3 steps here. I think they just left. We're only at 47. It starts going quicker as you get more counters, but I wish Portal to Phyrexia was still in the format. That was fun. Same with All Will Be One. That was a good one too in this deck. That was what I originally ran with the calendar, because you could, whenever you put a counter on something, All Will Be One does that many counters damage to any target. So you could literally have this at 47, play the All Will Be One, double it, and then deal that much to their face, which was very cool. But now we have to do it the old-fashioned way and make them leave out of sheer boredom. I guess I'll take this time to thank the new members, actually, to the channel. Really appreciate the support. Didn't really expect anybody to, excuse me, to sign up. So that was cool. I'm definitely trying to get more content for you guys. I do have a members only video with Smog that will be coming out as well. Not sure if it came out before this one or it will be after, but look forward to that. And with that, we'll move on to the next game. Alright, we go first. We have the Enigma Jewel, but we don't have any blue on one. I was worried about the mana for this deck. Let's mulligan. Ooh, that's actually arguably better. So, toss an island, play the calendar. Political Triumph. Braided Net should come in handy. Let's go tap. Back to hand. Next turn the Braided Net can come out. Probably, Carrot Cake here. Not the worst. Kept on top, hey? Alright. Probably net here. And then next turn Solemn. Or just hold up 3 steps. Alright, I've got a cake. We'll save the net for now. Even though I know it benefits us to tap it, doesn't really matter at this stage. Kept on top. Never a good sign for us. Alright. Starting town. We kind of want 3 steps on 6 so we can make a copy of a token. So I think I'm just going to go Solemn here. Currently 3 steps on 5. Alright, there's a talent. We're going to copy a token. Everyone gets a buff. Solemn can block 1. And then I think we'll start tapping here. Alright. Let's tap you. Draw a card. Crying. Not the worst. Not the best. Tome, hold up 3 steps here, I think. They're just going to upgrade. Alright. We'll draw. Ugin's good. Tap. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. We kind of want the land here. Don't need another 3 steps. There's a land. Let's go Ugin. Let's exile this. 2, 4, 6 so far. I can tap 1, so only for 4. I think we plus and we gain some life and draw a card.
Open your mind to possibility.
Tap you. Uh-oh. What you got? Okay. 1 extra damage. Not the end of the world.
Cease this tantrum.
Another cake. Alright. Let's plus. There's a land.
Heed my advice.
Let's go like this.
Power belongs to the patient.
Could just play the calendar to get more removal. Could also just play Krang. And then play the calendar. That works. Keep this one.
Fate flows as easily as water.
So 5 block. Don't have tap anymore, unfortunately. But if that's all they can do, then that's okay. Kept on top. Gotta go for Ugin here. I block. Down to 2.
Restrain your emotion.
Up to 31. Alright, Barons. Let's go with Lady Octopus first so we get the counter. Plus another tome.
My plan bears fruit.
Okay. Get lost the Krang, huh? Could counter it. Counter, make a copy of the braided net. So then it's exile, tap something, block, block. Okay.
I grant you a boon.
No attacks. Ugin alive is better than dealing 7 when they're at 26. Alright, got him. We go first. It's Mulligan. Alright, looking better. Keep. Archive can go, I guess. Unfortunately. Let's go starting town calendar. Go with the Iron Crag. And then the braided net. So this is creature enters with stun counter equal to 3 minus X if X is 2 or less tapped. And then whenever one of our token creature control dies, Create a green dinosaur token. Okay. Forgot to tap. That was an oopsie. Let's keep this tapped for a little bit, if you don't mind. Trailblazer. All right, it's free. Let's see what they've got cooking up. Green. 5 mana. The Pugnacious Hammer Skull. Draw a card. Pretty good. Alright. We tap. All right. All right, down to 17. Sorry, I was just thinking. There's a Krang. Let's go ahead and exile our own Solemn. 23. Let's drop Krang here. We'll decline this. Ugin and a braided net. Another net is absolutely crucial. We'll end the turn there. Okay. Galta. Gross. So, tap. Tap. $12, $16. Yeah, we're dead either way. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait. I didn't do it. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. Alright, Ugin. Exile Trample.
Preparation. I grant you what I will not allow my project. Mana courses.
So tap, tap, still dead. Yeah. They got us with that one. Unshocking. Alright. Opponent goes first, we'll keep. Tiny Bones. So whenever opponent discards a card, exile it from the graveyard with a stash counter on it. During your turn, you may put cards that you don't own with stash counters on them. Do nothing. Okay. Here's a braided net. So they can force me to discard here with the ability. And this only does 1 and doesn't have Death Touch, so I don't really care too much about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll discard Solemn probably. I don't think we need Demo Field. We probably do need the land though. Alright. There's a Krang. Let's go Solemn. They could have a Lady Octopus. Or Krang, I suppose. The Planetarium could be bad for us if they choose that. That's a good choice. But it's exile, it's not discard, so that doesn't quite work. Alright. There you go. I could just tap it to stop them activating. But let's go Braided Net here. Cast Krang. Draw a million cards. Starting town. And then we'll have no more of that, please. Nah. Artifact Exile for 3 mana. Incredible. It's fine. We can just play out the whole hand next turn. Not a big deal. There's another Krang. So let's go the Cauldron. Let's play the Iron Crag. Let's go Enigma Jewel. Let's go Krang for 2. Reload. Decline. And same thing as before. We'll put the stop there. And then just grab this island back. Okay. Rise of Sozin. I will draw. Nice. Alright, Ugin time. Sure. Ooh, backed up by a 3 steps as well. That's quite good. Don't quite have the mana for that though, unfortunately. But now we do.
I will spend this man wisely. I am the master of this world.
No thanks. Alright, we go first. We have calendar. We're keeping it. We need to get a win with the calendar. Everything has just been people conceding to a random pile of artifacts for no discernible reason. This opponent will be tougher. Looks like life gain. Maybe Orzhov, maybe Abzan. A bat. We're a long way from Ugin, sir. Another Solemn can go in the bottom. Let's name the Air Temple. And then I think we're just going to draw off the tome here. And then put a stop and scry as well, because we do need the land. Want to play Solemn. Alright. They miss land, which is good. Let's tap. Don't need that. There's the land. Let's go with I think Solemn here. Krang is available, but I think we go Maze Mine Tome and hold up 3 steps next turn. Probably just go ahead and play Hylia here. Yeah. Draw another card. Alright, we find a land. So we'll go Tome, pass. Creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. If a triggered ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less would trigger, that ability triggers another time. Well, I should probably counter this, but I also kind of want to ambush the Hylia and draw 2 cards. But then if they have another bat, they take 2 cards out of hand. Alright, let's counter Delny. Alright, let's Surveil here first, or Scry rather. Ghost Vacuum is interesting now, because obviously they have the case. They could also play Zoraline, so that could be worth. We'll keep this in hand, and we're actually not going to block, because we want to draw maximum cards with Krang. It says if it enters you have fewer than 4 cards in hand, draw equal to the difference. Alright. One, two, three, four. Let's go. got Lunar. And they're just going to draw and make a bat. Alright. So let's exile. Let's scry. Let's draw. Gain that life. Alright. So land. Planetarium. Both in the bin. Land. Ugh. So we're going to want to scry away that land, and we're looking for braided nets now, I think. For the flyers specifically. They're probably debating going with the annoying bat. Could use another Ugin as well. That would be nice. Might hold the Iron Crag if, in the hopes that we find another Ugin. Because we need to exile more than one thing here. All their stuff kills us. Yeah, there's the Cleric. They didn't take damage this turn, though. So, not really great for them. I'll block the 3. I'll draw a card. And then we'll make sure to do all the creatures under 1. Don't need the land. Don't need that. Alright. So this for sure. Let's scry first. Get another look. There's Ugin. Perfect. Cast Ugin. Exile your bat. Go with the Iron Crag. These are problematic as well.
Belongs to the patient.
Let's scry. There's a Solemn. Let's draw. Exile that. Land. Play Krang, draw 2. Keep this one. Play the Calendar. Exile their card draw. Keep this one. Punch you. Alright. If they have Shelter by Ghosts, it's going to be bad for us. So now we just need to find Braided Nets so we can prevent the damage from coming in if they're able to get rid of Ugin. But I think we might be able to get a win with the calendar here. We're going to want to start trying to double counters. They've got an Amalia. That's pretty good. All right, land. Another Lunar on the top. Probably going to want to Demolition Field them next turn to try and get rid of that. Okay. So let's exile our Krang. We're going to draw a ton of cards when that comes into play. Just so this is tapped. All right.
Not die here again.
All right, there's a Jewel. So I think it's untapped land. Let's Demolition Field first. All right. They shuffled away their what's it called? So, Jewel, Inventor, decline. Let's activate this. There's the Braided Net. Play that. Sacrifice and make 1/1s. We'll keep... Maybe I keep this one, actually. Let's keep this one. Decline, decline. We'll get all our lands out here. There's an Archive. Let's add 3 mana. Or the Drive, rather. Let's exile Amalia before things get crazy. Then the Ghost Vacuum can help with the Moseo. That's not a problem. Punch you. And then we'll start doubling counters here. Can't attack in with the bat anymore. Alright, there's a Cleric. Potentially problematic here, but Ugin can help us with the life gain. They might have ideas of attacking in with the bat to get us to block and then get it back with the Moseo. That would be a mistake. Alright, we're going to want to block that 1/1 with something that can kill it. And Ugin can take 1. How many cards do we have left? Okay, we have enough. Let's draw. Thanks for the Delny. Let's double counters. Let's get our Solemn out of the graveyard. Pass. 125. Alright. Straw card. Beautiful.
The wise keep by.
And we're going to want to cast these. Exile.
Power belongs to the patient.
Exile.
One step.
We'll keep
in
this one.
stratagem.
Have up 3 steps. And then let's see what we find here. Another jewel. We don't need those. Okay. Well, we didn't get to the combo, but or not the combo, but the win condition. But I guess the, the win condition is just boring the opponent to death until they just leave with so many artifacts and clicking around that they can't handle it. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.